What's good? We back with the boxing clinic. Your boy CJ Goodfella back on the boxing grind. Your usual suspect. One time for the one time. Shout out to the homie Cali Enigma. Excuse me. Shout out to everybody that was on the live stream that went to the super chat and donate through PayPal. Ty Foster. Shout out to him. Cali Enigma again. Mr. Gary Benson. If I forgot you, my bad. But we about to talk about Deontay Wilder and Anthony Joshua. And I seen an article Paulie say this could be the next great heavyweight trilogy. I don't believe so. I just believe whoever, I believe the fight going to end in knockout, and I believe whoever get knocked out won't be the same fighter, period. So I just think it's going to be one fight. I don't even think it's going to reach the rematch clause, in my opinion. It's going to be like some Butte and some Carl Froch type shit. Butte, I believe, had a rematch clause in the contract, got beat down so bad that he didn't want to do the rematch again. And I believe it'll be the same way for this fights. I really do. I think it'll be the same way. I just think the person that get knocked out just not gonna be the same fighter. I think they'll try to come back, and they come back for the rematch. I think they end up pulling out and just not being themselves. Remember, these both guys who don't have large amateur experiences, man. So when you don't have a lot of amateur experience, you don't have the experience of really getting knocked out or getting beat in the amateurs and learning how to bounce back from them losses. You know what I'm saying? So I believe when they first really taste defeat on a professional level, it's definitely different from the amateur level. When they first taste defeat, I think they won't be the same fighter whoever loses, in this fight. They both got solid power, and I think Joshua is a good power punching heavyweight. I think Deontay Wilder is one of the hardest punching heavyweights of all time. When you talking about explosive and his weight and just his natural power and not being able to use the technique to turn over some punches or really step into some punches, he just floating on the hope and the dream. He just punched. He just gifted. So I think, if either one of them get knocked out, Joshua get knocked out, I could tell that he won't be the same fighter. And for Deontay Wilder, I could tell that he won't be the same fighter. Maybe they have some hidden resistance, or they might be the exception to this rule that I'm speaking on, but I don't see a trilogy. It's hard for me to see a second fight immediately happening. I think if Joshua was to get knocked out, they'll build him back up. Same for Wilder. They'll build him back up nice and slowly. And it's something that they never experienced before, though. A hard knockout. It's something they never experienced. Somebody said, they got knocked out in the amateurs or knocked out in sparring. The amateurs, the knockout I see with Deontay Wilder was a standing knockout, standing 8 count or whatever you want to call it in the amateurs. Getting knocked out in sparring is different, though, man, because you never know where you at in sparring. You know what I'm saying? You might be out of shape. You might just be, getting in the ring to get back in the rhythm, or you might not be feeling good this day, or, you know what I'm saying? So sparring is very, very subjective to think about, what kind of happened and trying to break it down and be opinionated, especially if you ain't see it firsthand. You hear about sparring wars all the time where somebody whooped somebody, like Eubanks claimed that he whooped Groves, and what happened when they got into a real rematch? Eubanks got whooped. So at the same time, it's like, I just don't see, especially now if they go to distance, which I'll be surprised if he goes to distance. And usually the fights where you believe it's 100% going to be a knockout, 99.9% is going to be a knockout. A lot of times, they go to distance, but I don't see this one going to distance. I see somebody getting knocked out. Now, if it's something like a phantom knockout, like the Froch and Groves little knockout where the referee just stopped it standing, yeah. But I think it's going to be a devastating knockout, throwing the towel style, or just, body not moving type of knockout. And once that happens, I just don't think that fighter will be the same. I'm not taking Wilder's side. I'm not taking Joshua's side in this video. I'm just saying, once they get knocked out, I can't see them being the same fighter coming back. And maybe they have resistance, but from what I see, Joshua's very soft and timid. I don't see him overcoming this adversity, getting knocked out and coming back. But if he do come back, it's going to be a money grab by Eddie Hearn, and he ain't going to be ready. It's the same thing going to repeat itself. Similar to Ricky Hatton when he got knocked out. He wasn't the same fighter. Even though it wasn't a rematch, he wasn't the same fighter. I think for Deontay as well. I think he get knocked out, he won't be the same fighter coming into the ring. That's just my opinion on it, man. I just don't see this being a trilogy type of heavyweight fight. I'm having a hard time, imagining an immediate rematch. It could happen down the road, but I'm having a hard time imagining that. But that's just my perspective on it, man. I'm not saying that I'm a super expertise or nothing like that. It's just what I see, and I be wrong, I do be wrong sometimes. I ain't perfect, but be on the lookout for the final thoughts on Julian J. Rock Williams taking on Daniel Gallimore after the weigh-in today, and also Erislandy Lara and Jared Swift Hurd. We do the weigh-in and the final thoughts all in one video, man. Appreciate y'all. We gone.